Today on Tanaka Homestead, we're going to learn how to build an inexpensive vegetable drying rack. So, there are many options out there for drying racks. You can find them on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, you can even go to gardeners.com. Some are made of wood, others are made of metal, some are more on the cheap side, and others are more noteworthy. One in particular that I really had my eye on was the orchard rack at gardeners.com. They have a 6-drawer and a 9-drawer, but both are pretty expensive. You know, the 6-drawer was $225 and the 9-drawer $269. Although great products, you can pull them in and out. It's just a little more than what I wanted to spend right now. So what I ended up doing is going to Lowe's, and I got some lumber, as well as these wooden sawhorses, which I've had my eye on for a while. I've been trying to figure out what kind of project I can do to incorporate them because I think they're adorable. They have the little donkey burned in there, and I don't know why, I just think it's cute. The first thing we're gonna do is measure our slats out. They're actually 6 feet long, and the proper way to do this would be to measure each individual slat, or for the sake of time, I'm just not gonna do that. And it doesn't have to be a perfect project because really this is just for drying vegetables. So I went ahead and already measured in, and I marked 12 inches here, and I also did 12 inches there. I lined all my slats up together, and I'm just gonna continue the line across. And the whole purpose of me doing this is I wanna know exactly where to put my screws. These are the screws that were recommended by the Lowe's guy. I originally went in there for wood screws because we're dealing with wood, but he had suggested these little guys. They can go through not only wood, but they can go through masonry, metal, drywall, plastic. And he said anybody that does decking or any outdoor structure builds, they typically will use these because they don't rust. And if you notice at the end of them, they have an anchor. So it's definitely not gonna come up. And not only are they grooved around, but there's also a groove going vertically. I don't know if you can see that. What's neat about these, they come with their own drill bit, because not everybody has that with that size. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the drill bit, and then we'll start putting these screws in. If you notice, we marked our planks before, and what I did is I had them going along the first seam all the way down of my sawhorses, and I'm gonna anchor each screw in each piece of lumber, and then I'm gonna go back and do the other side. Just making sure it's going in straight. There we go. Now each space is measured 1.5 inches apart, and I've already done this, but I just want to make sure before I put my next set of screws in. So that's my half. So this needs to be moved in just a smidge to be 1.5 inches. And I'm going to repeat the process all the way across the sawhorse. So this is how you want it. As you can see with the second plank, I got a little overzealous and I just kept screwing it in. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm gonna do my best to try to keep it flush with the wood as we go on. So we completed putting all the screws in on these planks, which is great. I think it's coming out pretty good. We have about a 1.5 inch gap in between. Once again, I'm not building a masterpiece, but it's pretty precise for the most part. We're gonna repeat the process on the other side. We're gonna anchor on the far side first, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and we're gonna reinforce caddy corner wise on each plank so that there are 2 screws holding so that it's even more secure. Now we're going to go through and reinforce each of our planks with an additional screw. I'm just going to eyeball this. As long as I'm not close to that seam, I'm fine. All my planks are screwed in. I have 2 screws for each plank on either side screwed into my wooden sawhorse. It feels pretty sturdy, so I'm pretty excited about that. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that there is breakage in the board and in some of these boards, and there are splinters. So I'm just gonna take a higher grit sandpaper because I'm not trying to whittle my wood down to nothing, but I just want to kind of smooth the edges over so that I don't get any splinters, or my kids don't get any splinters, because that's the last thing I need. So yeah, let's do that. So we completed our drying rack. Everything is set and ready to go. We just need vegetables to hang on it to see if it holds up okay. I chose to not stain this because we're putting vegetables on it. It's just gonna stay in the natural form because I don't know how I feel about putting wood stain and polyurethane on my wood, which I do enjoy doing, and then putting fresh vegetables on it. This was about $83.12. plus tax to build, which really isn't bad when you compare this to other structures that you can store your vegetables on. So let's go get some onions. Pretty good. I must say myself, this is exactly what I envisioned, and I think it's pretty sturdy. I certainly would not sit up there, but for onions and potatoes and so forth, I think this will be great. I added a couple of shovels here just because, I don't know, I think they're cute, and I wanted it to look, you know, kind of have a garden flair to it. We're gonna watch these onions for a little while. Soon we're gonna be drying some potatoes on here. And actually, we're going to be planting sweet potato slips to be harvested at the end of the summer. So this is definitely going to be put to good use. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.